Hey everybody, it's Chuggaaconroy! Welcome back to more Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. In the last episode, we got to the lava-filled depths of Citadark Isle and had some tough battles. And in this episode, we still got a long way to go. We're going to be going into that cave and continuing on through Cipher's main base of operations. But first, allow me to brighten the mood. I want to show you something really stupid that I like doing. How does he do it? His legs aren't moving. It's eerie. Okay, now I don't know why. I always like that. Anyway, we go inside and hey, change of perspective. It looks like you entered through here, but you actually enter over there. It's really, really weird. So we'll go over here and check it out. Oh, check it out. Another purified chamber notification interrupting me. We got a lava waterfall, and you know what that means. There's going to be treasure or a cave behind that waterfall. What will it be? Well, it's actually both. You have a Pokemon healing machine right here, and you have a cave. So they fulfilled both tropes that I've said back in my Okami Let's Play. Awesome. Walk up here, and there's a PC, but you can't access until after this. You look cute, but you're also brave and bold to come to a place like this. It'd be a shame to beat someone like you, but this is a good chance to score some points with Master Greevil. Why is it that every girl, even if she's like 12, wants to score points with Greevil? It's like everybody wants to date Varric for some reason. Kimberly sounds like a really weird abbreviation for Kimberly. Now, I say we speed up this battle because it's going to be going on a while, and there's not a whole lot going on here that's all that important. So, during this fight, I want to address something that a lot of you have been prodding me to talk about for the past few days, and that is, why was I criticizing Hawlucha so harshly a few videos ago, saying it was one of my least favorite Pokemon? Do I think Hawlucha is a bad battler? No, I don't. I think it's actually a pretty good Pokemon in terms of fighting. It's just that it's one of very few Pokemon that bother me on a conceptual level. It's just that it's a Luchador. And the fact that basically this universe's equivalent of wild animals has a Luchador as a wild animal, I just don't have enough suspension of disbelief to have that not bother me. And it's odd because Pokemon like Greninja, that are basically the same concept, just don't bother me. It's just that I feel like Greninja's a bit more subdued, and Hawlucha is a little bit pushing the envelope on just, I guess, what my suspension of disbelief does. I don't know, it's just that it bothers me on a conceptual level. And the thing is, I don't really think that way for a lot of Pokemon. Hawlucha's just kind of one of a few cases, so I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things that bothers me. Anyway, on to our party. We're getting close to level 40 across the board, except Dodrio, of course, just because we got to, we got to purify it before I can get any experience. I'm going to shift the party around a little bit. Hope to get some good levels on him soon. Let's go up here, go up to another level of Citadark Isle, and we are not even close to being done here. Not even close. We have so much to go through. Email! Egan, dear Michael, I hope you are well. I wrote you a haiku poem. If Team Snag'em goons cause trouble in the desert, go and sandbag 'em. That is awful, and you will never live up to the levels of Professor Oak writing poetry. I'm sorry. A Professor Oak poet, you ain't. So, in this area, we have item boxes everywhere, as you can see, and this girl does not battle you for some reason. I'm assuming that she was planned to. You get 2 hyper potions right here. And the other trainers, they will battle you if you try to walk by them, but they are guarding some really useful items. As such, I'm going to cut these battles out and just kind of show what items these are. Oh, Mirby may have appeared. That's what's important. And stop interrupting me, you freaking radars and notifications and all that other stuff. Sometimes they really overdo it with those things. They always seem to happen like 3 in a row somehow. I'm not really sure why, but they just do. And I don't mean just purifications. Like that Mirby radar popped up right there alongside it. And we get a PP up right there. Some kind of cool looking lanterns, not going to lie. And even more battles. Let's see. Whoa, you're making a huge mistake if you think you can get past me. No, buddy. Yeah, you were the one who made the huge mistake, is more like it. Got another Cipher peon. She's not gonna let us pass. Nice try. Alright, last item box. It's right here. An elixir. Okay, can't buy that in stores. Can't complain about that. So, as we're going through here, I do have to say, it kind of bothered me a little bit before that, they're just giving us so many items for free that, you never need to buy items. Honestly, I think I kind of appreciate that a little bit now, because I think I'm getting it. You have to buy a lot of Pokeballs, because you're snagging a lot of Pokemon, and the emphasis on catching them all is a lot more fleshed out here, and it's kind of the main point of the adventure. And they're kind of making it so that you have enough money to buy lots of Pokeballs thanks to that. So I can say that. I'm actually not too weird about that anymore. I kind of do appreciate it. Not that I was complaining in the first place, mind you, though, but I still do appreciate it. Anyway, need to go heal. I'll meet you guys back there up top. Alright, took care of all those trainers, got lots and lots of good items doing that. All those are definitely worth your time. Well, except maybe the elixir. I don't tend to use those all that much, even though they are good. Wahahaha! You thought there was no one this way, didn't you? You're not getting off the hook that easy. What are you, Slippy Toad? You seem to be quoting him. Coolest! Well, I got news for you. You're not the coolest. You're the coolest. And you wouldn't have been the coolest anyway because you're impersonating Slippy Toad. You know you've sunk to an all-time low when you're quoting him. I like quoting Star Fox 64 every now and again, don't get me wrong. It's just that no one likes Slippy. Well, I don't know, I kind of like his character design a little bit, I guess, though. But anyway, I don't mean to get off track. So, we got a battle right here. I am hoping that Dodrio is going to do a better job here because Dodrio has had some abysmal luck in quite a few of these fights. I mean, did you see that while we were sped up? Got hit by a critical hit, then hung on with 1 HP, and then took a future sight as soon as it hung on. Really? It was just abysmal luck right there. Anyway, so while we're in this fight, I kind of want to talk a little bit about Greevil. Some of you might disagree with me right here, but I want to know this. If you have played XD at any point in your life spoiler-free, or if you watch this video series spoiler-free, I want to know something. Did you ever once believe that Varric was not Greevil? It's just that he's so similar to Evis, at least in my eyes he is. He is so similar to Evis in so many different ways. He, you know, is a benevolent old man, he's short and kind of stout, everybody loves him, and he appears very early in your adventure and helps you out. It's just that he was so similar to Evis in both appearance and in terms of his role and everything that I instantly thought for sure that he was Greevil. Not only that, like, this was when I was like a child, mind you. When I was like 15, I thought this. And, well, not a child, more like a teenager, though. You know what I mean. I instantly thought for sure that he was Greevil. And as if all that wasn't enough, it's just the fact that he's very similar. He's got those bodyguards that seem kind of dark and up to something. He's incredibly rich. But aside from all that, some things I think are not quite so obvious. And I feel like that this makes XD kind of a little bit more enjoyable the second time around, maybe if you go back and replay it a few years later after you know what happens. And that's that there's actually quite a few hints as to, you know, there's quite a few subtle hints to him being Greevil that you might not pick up on the first time around. You know, stuff like, how did Gorrigan know that Zook was showing off his shadow Pokemon at Gatcheon Port? You know, it was that Greevil was right there when he did it. Little did Zook know. So I thought that was kind of cool. Some other things are the fact that, you know, he's coming and going from the port that is nearest to Citadark Isle, and nobody really knows where he's going, and that is pointed out a few times. You know, stuff like that. I think little things like that are kind of cool. I think even as early as Gatcheon Port, I talked to a guy who had a little bit of a subtle hint to him being Greevil, and I thought that was kind of cool. So I appreciate that. I feel like that adds replayability, and it makes like the story a little bit more enjoyable the second time around. And I like it when particularly RPGs do that, you know, like where there's things you won't pick up on the first time around and give some cutscenes entirely new meaning. I think that's kind of cool, but yeah, I never didn't believe that he was not Greevil, and I want to know if you guys were the same way. Anyway, a bit of an elephant in the room I've been ignoring. Rapidash is a shadow Pokemon. This fire type Pokemon is incredibly fast, as you would guess by its name. I mean, seriously, how would you ever think a Pokemon not named Rapidash was fast? Rapidash has a really interesting starting moveset. It's got Sunny Day and Solar Beam, as well as Flamethrower. Flamethrower is going to be benefited from that Sunny Day as well. You can use Solar Beam in one turn if you have a Sunny Day up. The only thing I don't get is why is Baton Pass its starting move? I'll show on screen right now what its support moves are, but it just doesn't really make much sense to me. It just seems like kind of a random thing to have there. It doesn't have any starting moves that it can pass on to its other Pokemon, another Pokemon in your team. I suppose Flash Fire is the better of its two abilities if you want to go for it. It's not a bad Fire-type Pokemon. It's very fast. The only real downside is that its attack stat is bigger than its special attack stat, and it's kind of a shame given what its starting moves are. Aside from that, though, it's a bit of a sweeper. And second, he has yet another Shadow Pokemon in Magcargo. This is a very strange Pokemon. I gotta say, I like the pun, Magma Escargot. I'm sorry, I like puns. Anyway, starting moveset is not bad. Heat Wave, Earthquake, Flamethrower, great mixed attacking moveset. Unfortunately, its stats don't complement this very well. Only 50 attack to break down an crunch an Earthquake that is already weakened by the fact that it's hitting both opponents in a double battle. His other moves aren't that bad, but the main draw of Magcargo is its defense, and most unfortunately, quad weaknesses to ground and water. So for those reasons, I'm not too big on this Pokemon. But hey, Flame Body is a nice ability if you wanted to wall stuff. Can't say anything bad about that, but that's really all I have to say. Haven't been counting these out lately. 1, 2, 3. Good. I was a little worried at the time that I actually counted it out here on Citadark Isle, it wasn't gonna catch. All right. There we go. You are down. I just can't battle in this wicked heat. Yeah, I'm totally sure that selecting attacks from a menu really has weighed on by the heat around here. Yeah, totally. And no, there was more over here. Crap, I thought I could go and get the item and then go back to heal. Throwing everything at you with no restraint. I can't take this brutal heat anymore. Overly dramatic much? Colin. I thought Colin was a boy's name, but I don't know, maybe it's like pronounced Colin, in which case I feel very bad for you because you probably got made fun of on the playground quite a bit as soon as kids heard what that word meant for the first time. I kid. Okay. Alright. I think I will show this battle just because the other ones were not required. The other ones were just kind of in the way of items, so I wanted to show those. So I didn't really feel too bad about speeding those up though, but... oh god, I'm kind of in a bad position here. We'll go for the Brick Break on Cacturn, just get weak to that, and I'm gonna go for the Thunderbolt on Ninetales, even though it's got high special defense. I'm gonna hope for that Quick Attack. That's not gonna kill anything. Yeah, sure enough, I'm right. Did some nice chip damage, but not enough. Okay, Thunderbolt. And there we go. Oh, I was so hopeful there. It was getting really close to KOing, and I thought for sure it was gonna do it there, and wait a minute. Oh, never mind. Ninetales is Quick Attack. I was about to say, was that Ninetales quicker than my Jolteon? But no. Already forgot it used Quick Attack. Brilliant of me. Torkoal. Okay. I am a little bit worried here that something is going to totally blindside me that I'm not expecting, just saying. I'm going to go for... let's just use Shadow Ball on Ninetales just to finish it off, and we'll go for the Thunderbolt and Torkoal because, as I learned, it is not a ground type. Always forget that little detail, but there we go. Oh, not little detail, I thought it is that. There's always those Pokemon that you never remember what type they are. Cradley's one of those. Armaldo's another one that some people don't remember. You know, I always like Cradley just because nobody ever can remember what type it is, though, so when you send it out, it throws people for a loop sometimes if they're inexperienced at battling against Cradley, and it has really strange weaknesses being a grass rock type. Love it. All right. Go for the Shadow Ball. There we go. Out of there. Now, what I don't understand is why didn't Ninetales Quick Attack that turn? I was down to only 17 HP. He really should have gone for it. I don't know why, but oh well. Not like I'm complaining. I'm perfectly happy with no violence being directed at me. Who do I want to send out? Do I want to switch here? Oh, Billy Bob is burned. Burned Billy Bob. Sounds like some kind of really bad, like, redneck dish or something like that. All right, Thunderbolt. This battle's going by really quick. I gotta say, again, I feel like my team is a little bit overpowered, considering that I was worried about having not healed before this, and I'm having this easy of a time taking these guys out. I mean, if Crush Claw here manages to critical, that would have been so cool if it did right when I said it, though, but nah, it didn't. If that criticaled, I would have won this fight absolutely scot-free, minus that Quick Attack. But unfortunately, Gadzooks is going down. Nope. What? That's great. I took damage twice this whole battle. All right, go on. Finish it off. Do your stuff. Thank you. That is great. I am super happy about that. That's awesome. Okay, we got 2 more Shadow Pokemon. Took care of you. And there we go. Now, there better not be another trainer because I want to go over there and get that item. It's too hot here. I can't focus on it at all. Then again, why am I being so impatient that I want to go over and grab that item? You know, I could just go back and heal. You know what? I've already committed to it. Let's grab it. Full restore. 2 of them. All right. We got lots and lots of helpful items. We got a few more Shadow Pokemon. We got lots of battling experience in, and a certain 2 Pokemon I've got are getting really high up there in the levels and might be very close to evolving. And next time on Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, we'll see what is in this last cave entrance that we did not go through. And carry on with our trek through Citadark Isle. See you guys then.